They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance.
Hey, what's your name? Jamari. Okay, let me ask you a question, Jamari. Where you staying? Stay in the house? Talking about in this area right here? Okay. Now, Jamari, did you understand what he was telling you about who we are according to the Bible? So, if somebody would ask you, what is your nationality? And what race do you descend from? What would you tell them? What they teach us in school who we is. Okay. What they call us African Americans or American Black. Right. As you see on this sign right here, this is our true name right here. You see that? We say American Blacks, we descend from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
But the thing is, the same blood flowing through you, the same blood flowing through Jesus Christ. Let me ask you another question. How they portray as Jesus Christ? How do Jesus Christ look? They portray Jesus Christ look black in the churches. They say he look white, right? But in the Bible he is black. Go to Hebrews, go to Hebrews 7:14 first. But like I said, all these things that happen to us because we failed from keeping God's commandments. At a point in time, we was keeping God's commandments.
Right.
And we supposed to be above all nations on the earth. We supposed to be the righteous rulers and the righteous governors of this planet Earth.
That's right.
As it being in the past.
Right.
But the reason why these things happen to us is because we failed from keeping God's commandments to be the greatest people on this planet Earth. All right? Read that real quick.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
It's evident that Jesus Christ sprang out of Judah. That's the same tribe that our people descend from, bro. You understand? They don't want us to know this. They don't want us to know how great our people is. They don't want us to know how great your history is. You understand? Give me Revelation 1:1 real quick. Now we're gonna do a process elimination. Now this is the image right here that's been portrayed to our people ever since they brought us over on the slave ship, right? They say Jesus is a white man. But we don't read out of the Bible if this is true or is the image over there more biblical depiction of it. You see that it's an image of a black man with woolly hair, okay? Read it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must surely come to pass.
Okay, this is the revelation of Jesus Christ. The real Christ, all right? We're going to jump down to verse 14. All right, now let's do the process of elimination. Now check this out. Remember, when they had this right here, how you doing, sister? Doing okay? All right. What we're doing, we showing the true depiction of Jesus Christ. All right. And what we're trying to touch upon is showing our people their true identity and their true nationality. That we are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians are the 12 tribes of children of Israel, according to the Bible. All right. Read verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Say his head and his hairs were white like wool. Who has woolly hair on this planet Earth? What people? What nation of people we got woolly hair? No. Who has woolly hair? The white people, they have stringy hair. They don't have woolly hair. We the ones that have woolly hair. We got woolly hair. Look, you touching your woolly hair now. That's woolly hair. That is woolly hair. You got the same hair Christ has. Woolly hair. Read that again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
I mean Genesis 49:12. He said eyes is a flame of fire. All right? Now, sister, if you know that we drink wine or any strong drink, the whites of our pupils turn red, right? All right? Now, the thing is, Christ drunk wine in moderation. All right? It's a commandment for us not to be over drunken, but we can drink. but we can't be over drunk. All right, read that.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
Eyes shall be red with wine. That's why his eyes is red as fire. Now go back to Revelation. Read that.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
Hey, what color is brass? What color is brass? Huh? What color is a penny? Brown. That same color as brass. Brass is brown, right? But if you put that in the furnace and fire, it's gonna turn darker. It's gonna turn darker. So Christ is a dark-skinned man, a black man, according to the Bible. Woolly hair. You understand? Because our people been taught lies and deceptions about who Christ is, about who we are, and the truth about the Bible. Okay? That's what happened to our people. Now give me Isaiah 1 and 3 real quick. Now sister, let me ask you a question. What is your nationality? What race of people you descend from? Huh? Black? Okay. Now, as you look on this sign right here, sister, when you fill out an application or whatever, will you be considered as an African American or American black? Okay, all right. Now, really, you are of the 12 tribes of children of Israel, of the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
The word Judah is the word Jew is short for Judah. That's where the word Jew derived from.
Make it plain.
Okay, we are the true Jews of the Bible. All right. Now the thing is, these things happen to us for a reason, and the main reason that it happened to us by our disobedience to the Most High God. Because He made a covenant with our forefathers. Right? Read that real quick.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Okay, he says he's comparing the children of Israel to two animals. He said the ox knows his owner. The ox knows who he belongs to. He said the ass, which is a donkey, knows his master's crib. He know where he comes from. He know where to go. All right? But, read that.
But Israel doeth not know. My people do not consider.
He said Israel don't know. Our people don't consider. You understand? Let me do Deuteronomy 29 and 1 real quick. All right? Now the thing is, this is the covenant that God had made with us. He made a covenant with us, with our people. All right? We have pros and cons, do's and don'ts. All right? God required for us to do His commandments and statutes. All right? That made us separate and holy from the other nations that's on this planet Earth. God never made us to try to be equal to these other nations. Never was a thing for us to do this. Right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. With the children of Israel.
Okay, this is the covenant that God commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. All right? They go to Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 21 and 1. Deuteronomy 21 and 1. Now the thing is, now, if we keep His commandments and statutes, all right, God will bless us, all right? But if we don't keep His commandments and statutes, God will punish us, all right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all His commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high, above all nations of the earth.
Above what?
Above all nations of the earth.
You hear this, sister? If we keep His commandments and statutes, as it was in time past, how it was supposed to be originally ordained, and we supposed to be above all nations on this planet Earth.
Teach up.
Okay? Because we are the upholders of God's commandments and statutes. We are the ones that supposed to enforce His laws into these other nations. They supposed to be under subjection unto us. All right? But since we strayed away from our true glory, read verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said, if we will not hearken, if we will not listen, keep reading.
To the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all His commandments.
To what?
to observe to do all his commandments.
To observe to do all his commandments. That is the key purpose. All right? As you've been hearing in these churches, that the law's been done away with. The reason why these theological churches is set up to keep our people thinking that, because they know that as long as we in sin, these people that have been oppressing us continue in power. They know that. That's why they keep pushing the laws are done away with. But God clearly states, if we do not keep his commandments and statutes, keep reading.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said all these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us, right? Read verse 16. We're going to go over these curses. Because the thing is, these curses is an identification marker to show who's the children of Israel today.
That's right.
All right? Read it.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
It said, cursed shall we be in the city. Our people is the one that populate the poorest conditions in every city on this planet Earth. Okay? So we'll scatter all four corners of this earth. Every city that you go to, our people populate the ghettos. Our people populate the projects, the slums, the high crime rate. We overpopulate the prison systems. We have the lowest education system. You understand, sister? We're cursed in the city, and what?
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
It said, cursed shall thou be in the field. As you know the history of us being in the cotton field, us being in the tobacco field, the rice field, the bean field. Even in Memphis, they had a orange plantation, which is called Orange Mound. You understand, sister? We're cursing these fields. Also today, we're cursing the field of employment, cursing the field of education. We're cursing the middle system. We're still cursing these fields today, sister. All right? Read verse 32. Jump 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
Said thy sons and daughters were given to another people. All right? This is how they was given to another people. They were sold on slave boxes to another slave plantation. That's how they was given to another people. Read verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
You see that, sister? They shall go into captivity. They were sold to another slave plantation, right? Read 32 again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Sold to another slave plantation. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
In the Lamentations 2 and 11, it said, thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. We didn't have the military might or economic might to get our children back. So what did the parents do? The parents cried, pleaded, begged. They were full of sorrow of their children, because they know in their spirit they will never see their children again. Understand, sister? Read that.
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 11. Mine eyes do fail with tears. My bowels are troubled. My liver is poured upon the earth for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the sucklings swoon in the streets of the city.
You see that? Our eyes failing with tears, because our children were taken from us. You understand, sister? Even today, what they call them? The CPN? That's what they call them?
Yes.
Child Protective Service, right? If they see anything that you are neglecting, doing anything of neglecting your child or abusing your child, anything of that nature, they will take your child away from you. You understand? It's still happening to us to this day. Even our brothers of the Northern Kingdom, as you see down here, Issachar, or tribe of Issachar is the Mexicans, all right? Them our brothers as well. What's happening to them when they try to come over here across the border, they separate them from their children. And they keeping their children in cages to this day. Our people don't know that. You understand? There's a lot of people that these demons have been doing to us. And it's time for our people to wake up to the truth of what the Bible really says and what qualified for us to do. You understand, sister? All right? Now read verse 37. Now remember, We were sold on a slave plantation, right? Sold on the slave auction. All right? Read it.
Verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Say become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. All right? An astonishment is an amazement. All right? Because the thing is, in history, they have documentation in history, the prestige politics about our history that we was the ones that were ruling in the dark ages. You understand? Because they know that we the true descendants of Israel. But they are amazed at how far we fallen now. Our young men sagging their pants, walking around wearing dresses, involved in homosexuality, our women acting like prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? We have broken households. You see how our people is so fallen from the glory that God really made us from? These people is astonished of it. And the proverb is a wise saying. Like, we love watermelon. You want to hide anything from a black man, you put it in the book. The proverb, wise saying. And a byword is being called anything outside of your natural God-given name. Just like we stated. Right here, we are of the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
But in slavery, they called us African American, Negro, color, black, and etc. That has nothing to do with our nationality. Give me Isaiah 65:15. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 15. And you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord God shall slay thee and call his servants by another name.
Will call his servants, which is the 12 tribe children of Israel, by another name. This is the curse that's been put upon our people. All right? Now read verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Say these curses are going to be upon us for a sign. It's an identification mark to show who the true children of Israel is today. And for a wonder, as our people should wonder why, like myself, why do we go into slavery? Why are we in these living conditions? Why we cannot get justice? You understand? Why is these things happening to us? All right? He reads.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
Say because we did not serve God for the joyfulness and gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Because all things was made for us. You understand, sister? He reads.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Serve who?
Thine enemies.
We are serving our enemies. Understand, sister? That's what the Bible is saying. God said we're going to serve our enemies. He reads.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
And in want of all things. Because we don't own these grocery stores, the produce. We don't own any agriculture. We don't own any beverage corporations. We can't even collect rainwater because they will tax us and fine us for that. You understand, sister? In the want of all things. If you want to buy a house, you want to get a job, you want to get an education, you want to go to college, you want to do anything, you got to get licensed, you got to get permits, you got to do all these things from them, right? You read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So what?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
See that, sister? You put a yoke of iron upon our necks. They have it to us. Until when?
Until he had destroyed thee.
Until we was destroyed as a nation of people, spiritually and mentally. We no longer knew who our true God was. We no longer knew where we came from, what our true name, what is our true purpose, what is our true heritage. We no longer knew that.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling, These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.